Will Nikki figure out and approve what her husband is up to? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, October 8th, put Victor in the position of delivering bad news to Jill, and Nikki in the position of looking for honest answers. Jill, Jess Walton, came back to town and caught up with both her sons. The biological one, Billy Jason Thompson, who feels entitled to a company that was never his to begin with, and the fake son, Kane Billy Flynn, who seems to have achieved everything Billy feels was his birthright and who, let's be honest, Jill kind of likes better, no matter what lies he's told her in the past, or how his felonious father, Colin, Tristan Rogers, betrayed Jill in the end. Now that she's heard from both her boys, Victor, Eric Braden, has decided that Jill needs to hear from him, because he is the only one who knows what is really going on in Genoa City, and thus, he is the only one who can tell Jill what the right thing for her to do moving forward is. Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, pretended to Lauren, Tracy Bregman, that she knew everything Victor was doing and she was perfectly fine with it, as always. But Nikki also heard what Lauren was saying about Nikki being Victor's enabler. Nikki has always had her doubts about Victor's petty, childish vendetta against Jack, Peter Bergman, and has even spoken up about it occasionally. Now that she knows Victor has something big planned, Nikki wants to get ahead of Victor for once and find out what he is doing before he has a chance to spin it as something he is doing for the good of his family, and anyone who disagrees is a traitor. You got that? Jack, for his part, knows that Kane wants to go after Newman Enterprises and Jabot and Chancellor Industries. But he doesn't have to.
Kane could just go after some of them.
Like, say, leave Jabot alone.
He could do that.
If he wanted to. Sure, Kane wants to be a power player, but considering that the woman he claims to still love, Lily, Crystal Khalil, was best friends with Abbott granddaughter, Colleen, and Lily still has a relationship with Colleen's mother, Tracy, Beth Maitland, wouldn't Kane be better off foregoing taking over Jabot and focusing his attention on, say, Victor instead? That would really be best for everyone. Surely, Kane must see that. It's personal. He knows that if Kane's venture craters, and it likely will, Phyllis won't just lose money. She'll lose the credibility she's worked so hard to rebuild. She'll be heartbroken, and her heartbreak has a nasty habit of manifesting as citywide chaos. Meanwhile, Kane watches this exchange from a distance, a carefully neutral mask hiding his own swirling thoughts. He knows Nick is a threat to this new alliance. He needs Phyllis, her fire, her fearlessness, and her platform at the Grand Phoenix. He's betting on Nick's inability to control her, and so far, it's a bet that's paying off. The more Nick pushes, the more Phyllis will pull towards Kane, diving headfirst into a venture that smells suspiciously like a sinking ship. This is a classic Genoa City standoff, where good intentions are the kindling for the next great inferno. Nikki and Jill, a truce forged in history. Across town, in the hallowed, power-soaked halls of the Newman Enterprises Executive Suite, a different kind of meeting is taking place. One that carries the weight of 40 years of rivalry, competition, and personal vitriol. Nikki Newman, poised and elegant as ever, is sitting across from Jill Abbott, equally regal and formidable. The air between them is not hostile, for once. It's heavy with memory and a strange, newfound respect. They are there to finalize the severance of Jill's last official tie to Chancellor Winters, now that the merger with Newman Media is complete. But this is no mere HR formality. This is the closing of a book that defined an era. I never thought I'd see the day. Jill begins, a wry smile touching her lips. Jill Abbott, taking a final bow from the company her husband built, and getting her walking papers from Nikki Newman. Nikki meets her gaze, her own expression unreadable, but not unkind. We've been through hell and back, Jill. Both of us. We've fought over men, over companies, over every last shred of dignity we could claw from each other. A ghost of their old animosity flickers in the room, but it's quickly doused by the sheer exhaustion of it all. They are two queens who have outlived their kings, Catherine, Victor, John, and the battlefield looks different from this vantage point. We have, Jill concedes, her voice losing some of its edge. But we're still here. That has to count for something. Nikki nods slowly. It counts for everything. You were a worthy adversary, Jill. perhaps the only one who ever truly understood the game. This admission hangs in the air, a monumental truth spoken between them. Their rivalry was never just about business. It was about identity, about survival, about proving that a girl from the wrong side of the tracks could not only enter the palace, but could rule it. They saw their own reflections in each other's ambition, and they hated it. Now, in the twilight of their careers, they can finally acknowledge it. The conversation turns to the future. Jill speaks of focusing on her foundation, of traveling, of enjoying the empire she's built. Nikki speaks of securing Newman's legacy for the next generation, of guiding her family through its endless crises. They are not friends, and they never will be. But in this moment, they are something perhaps more profound, equals who have earned each other's respect. As Jill stands to leave, she pauses at the door. Take care of the company, Nikki. And take care of that family of yours. Lord knows they need it. Nikki offers a genuine, if small, smile. Goodbye, Jill. It's a peaceful, powerful end to one of soap opera history's greatest feuds. But in Genoa City, peace is always fleeting. Collision course, when family loyalties divide. The separate dramas of Phyllis's risky business and Nikki's settled score inevitably collide at the Newman Ranch. Nick, agitated and concerned, lays out his fears about Phyllis and Kane to his mother. Nikki, still basking in the quiet triumph of her meeting with Jill, listens with a mother's ear. Nick, you can't save Phyllis from herself. You've tried. We've all tried. She makes her own choices. But this is different, Mom, Nick insists. Kane isn't just some flaky boyfriend. This is a business partnership that could ruin her. The Grand Phoenix is everything to her. If this goes south, it will destroy her. Nikki understands better than anyone the precarious nature of a hard-won reputation. She also understands the futility of trying to control a force of nature, like Phyllis Summers. She advises caution, suggesting he support Phyllis as a friend, but to draw a firm line to protect himself and Faith from the inevitable fallout. This, however, puts Nick in an impossible position. His loyalty to his family is bedrock, but his connection to Phyllis is a deep, stubborn root that has survived every drought and storm. How can he stand by and watch her walk off a cliff? Yet, if he intervenes, he becomes the overbearing ex-husband who doesn't believe in her, pushing her further into Kane's waiting arms. The situation is a ticking time bomb. Kane's motivations are still shrouded in mystery. Is this a genuine fresh start, or is he using Phyllis as a pawn in a larger, more desperate game? Phyllis's determination is both her greatest strength and her fatal flaw. And Nick's concern is the catalyst that could.